Hello.
How you
What's
doing?
up, JJ? How you doing, boo boo?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
How was
Of course.
Christmas?
It wasn't too bad, man. We stayed at home. Mom was with the whole COVID stuff going down. We just been kind of chilling.
Yeah.
So we sit at the crib, and I think Sienna made some pozole.
I missed out on the last time she made it, and I missed out on this one too. So we were supposed to. I was gonna try to stop by Christmas Day to pick some up. We ended up staying up at Brian Rogers all
That's
day.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because you guys went over to Brian Rogers on Christmas Eve. David came over because I made that tri-tip. I smoked that tri-tip.
Which I got those pictures look super. Oh. You can see all the juice on the cutting board, man. It looked so good.
I gotta make you some more, bro. This shit was bomb.
Yeah?
It was bomb, bro.
Yeah, it looked really, really good. I don't really like tri-tip unless it's smoked like that. So
You know what? I never really had it much either, but I've been like messing around with different meats and stuff since I started really getting into trying to smoke, and that tri-tip's fire.
dope.
So it's I think it's called Hottinger Farms.
Is that the one in like
Hottinger
Chino or
Farms?
something?
Yeah,
Or- yeah.
yeah, it's bomb.
Yeah, I've heard of that place.
I'll make you one.
Yeah.
Just for you. Just for you. Just for you. But other than that, yeah, man, we were just chilling. We did that, and then I had to go to work.
How's David?
He's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Good.
We're just messing around with his beats and all his shit's fire.
Yes.
Fire.
Yeah, super dope producer.
He's Wit's the King. If you listen to him, check out Wit's the King on
Yeah.
Instagram. Black Saga is the group, him and Eric, him and Casey Chapman.
Yeah.
And they got their boy Q, does a lot of video footage. There's a couple other guys that do like their videos and stuff.
That's
but
all
they're top notch.
Super, super good stuff, man.
Yeah, they're top
super
notch.
dope.
Top notch.
Yeah.
But that's
David's been in the music thing for
years.
Yeah, for a long
as long
time.
as I can remember.
Perfecting it and
Yeah.
doing really well. Man,
Killing
stuff
it.
sound. We listened to some stuff earlier and it was
It's hard.
knocking, man. It was
hard.
so good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
I listened to
out.
something yesterday for like hours, like straight, like a
Yeah.
few hours straight. I must have like that song.
I think the dopest thing, man, is when you can hear a beat and your mind automatically throws like a real popular or like a real dope MC on top of the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man, dude, I could hear so and so on that.
Yes.
on that track.
Yeah. And that's how you know, like that shit's top notch because
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like it sounds like normal high quality shit.
Yep.
And what's dope is it's like this is coming out of David's living room. Like this is out of his office. This is out of his space. It's coming out of his brain.
Yeah.
And he's just like, ugh, and then puts it out. And you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, damn, this shit's hot. Like what?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like, man, my brother makes some like when you know. It's like I don't know. It's like saying you know Michael Jordan or something like.
It's art. Well,
Yeah,
art.
it's dope.
It's an art. It's not just art. It's not somebody just doodling on some paper.
Yeah.
It's someone putting down a really, really good, high quality, something that everybody can enjoy piece of art.
Yes.
Right. It's
Yeah.
the difference between doodling something and painting an amazing portrait.
Yes.
You know what David's doing is he's putting an amazing portrait out there for a bunch of people to enjoy and listen to, and yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
I'm super proud
good,
of him,
man.
man.
Good.
It motivates me. But that was it, man. We hung out with David and Francis, with Franchini and the boys. And Felicia came over, and we just ate, chilled. I went to work on Christmas. The kids opened up their presents, and then they were with their mom like late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And we were just chilling, man. It was dope.
Cool.
It was dope. How was yours?
It was good.
You guys have fun at
yeah,
Breeze?
we had cool, man. It was cool. Christmas Eve, we hung out with my parents and my sister at her house, at my mom's house. We just hung out, had some good food, and the kids opened their presents, whatever, and then we ended up coming back home, hanging out for a little bit, and then heading up to Breeze, spending the time up there, and then waking up and having like a big breakfast with everybody up there. A bunch of the girls in the family got roller skates, so they were all outside trying to roller skate.
Oh, they're outside busting their ass?
Dude, that geared up, bro. Like the little palm guards, knee pads, helmets. So that's why I had you bring the skates over. I was like, man, I'm gonna see if I can scoot around a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, bro, that's been rough, man. Because I bought the Mars blades because we want to play hockey, and but man, that's been a journey. It was like that time when you guys came over and I was trying to jump,
bro.
And Oliver's like, jump over the crack, Dad.
Bro, I don't know. It's been a really, really long time since I've laughed that hard. We felt the concrete shake when your ass hit the floor, bro.
Bro.
It was, and then at the very beginning, right? You fell, and everybody was like, "Oh, Johnny, you okay?" And me and Ronnie are
Just
dying,
laughing.
bro,
Oh, bro.
dying. And I was like, "Man, you guys are friends, but we're like best
Yes,
friends."
yeah,
Because
bro.
dude, it was
My
hilarious,
life flashed before my eyes.
dude. You you hit the ground so hard, bro. And
I
then the worst part of it is you hit the ground, and then here comes Oliver on his skates, skating
just
by,
skate
like it
right
ain't
by me,
nothing.
like, you okay, Dad?
Do a little jump, like this. Look, Dad, this is how you do it. Kicked his legs out to the side like a little trick.
Hey, Dad, you okay? And he's like,
Yeah,
I'm like, man, you didn't even help me up, bro. Where
dude,
you going? You
that
didn't even
was
help
funny
me up.
though.
You didn't even help me get up, bro. Oh man, that was rough, bro. I felt like I stuck it too, like, cause I came off the ground and I landed and I was like, getting ready to talk shit, like, and then my feet were just like, whoop.
See ya.
Man, I
Yeah,
was like, oh.
yeah, that
Then
was
I fell again trying
super
to get
funny. Yep.
up.
Oh, I know.
I'm just like stuck in that memory. That was traumatic.
It was
I have
hilarious. It was
PTSD.
hilarious to the people around you. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh shit.
So.
Okay. Well, you guys had a good time.
Yeah, man, it was fun. The kids got to hang out and play with all their toys and dude, I think what people don't realize, and you can always tell a seasoned dad when the kids start opening presents, the dad comes with the big black trash bag.
Oh
Right, because what are you gonna
yeah.
do with all that trash?
I
For
assume,
sure, these
yeah.
kids are gonna lose a toy in the mess of all that trash.
Yeah.
So we were prepared. I was like ripping, throwing stuff everywhere. We're catching boxes and tags and stuff and just throwing it in the trash. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was good, man. It's always nice to hang around family, even through all this, COVID stuff. Trying to have us, sit around and stay locked down, man. Me and my family, we're not with that. We get together, we have hangouts, we have barbecues, we have family dinners. It's kind of what we do. So
So let's. I know that was one of the things we talked about that we were going to get into today.
yeah,
Because we were like, because Ron Dog was getting a little sentimental.
fired up. She's getting fired
I
up,
was
bro.
like, she was a little firecracker,
Yeah,
bro.
man. She's turned her focus from knowing everything about every celebrity on E News and all that stuff to being like politics and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
she gets deep in it, bro, man. She's all about it, man. And I mean, people have their little thing that they like, that they dig, that interests them, that piques them, and it's definitely not nothing. It's not for me. I couldn't care less about the stuff that goes on. And she kind of tells me, like, oh, you got to know about this stuff and you should be aware. And
You mean as
to a
far
cer-
as like as
politics and stuff?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
To a certain extent, I agree. But at the same time, it is so true when with the statement "ignorance is bliss."
Yeah.
And what I don't know, I can't get mad that some House representative said this and did this and twisted this if I don't know about it. Plus, it don't affect me none, like none.
Yeah.
So but she's completely the opposite. No, you need to be aware. And I was like, all right, man, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's just not where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I just don't. The other thing that just doesn't interest me. I'm not gonna sit there and read.
Yes.
He said this. She said this.
Yeah.
This person feels this way. This person feels this way. This Ronnie, she literally told me about the whole stimulus thing that's happening, right? And how there was like a big to do about everything that's throughout all of the funding that's going to be distributed, like stuff. She's mentioned stuff like transgender studies in like some African country and all that stuff that were in there. That along with Trump signing the stimulus package, he has to agree to all those terms. And then I read an article or I see an article that says Trump gives in and signs. So it makes it sound like Trump like wussed out and now he's just giving in. And I'm like, well, what's the truth? Is what Ronnie's telling me and the sources she has? Is it Trump's trying to stand firm and give people the money and not do frivolous, stupid spending? or did he cave in and he's only trying to, he's feeling pressure from other people to sign this stuff? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is anymore, right? Super similar to the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
What is real? What is the truth about all of this stuff? Do masks work? Do masks not work? You'll hear a nurse say that they work. You'll hear a doctor say that they don't work, right? You'll hear you'll hear people talk about, oh, it is as serious as advertised. Then you'll hear other people, both from the medical field, both with very different opinions, right? And they have their facts to back up. So I feel like as us as lay people, who do we listen to? What information do we take, right? Do I take it
Yes.
from the nurse that already has the same opinion that I have, or the doctor that shares my views, my worldview, my religious view, my conservative view, or do I take the doctor who is the opposite, right? I don't know, right? Is this a case for using anecdotal evidence
Okay.
to fuel how you feel?
Okay.
Right? Oh, this is what I've seen personally, right? Usually anecdotal evidence is not good evidence. It's not strong. But this thing is so new. There's so many different opinions. There's so many different quote unquote facts out there.
Yeah.
What is it that you're going to use to fuel the decisions that you make and how you choose to live your life and all that stuff? It's almost impossible to do, man. There's no it's not and this is the one thing too that people that should be the most unbiased and the most transparent thing is people's health,
Yes.
right? But there's so many conflicting reports, conflicting points of view, conflicting everything about this whole thing that it just leaves you confused. What am I supposed to do?
What am I
Who do I
supposed
believe?
to do? Yeah.
Right? Who do I believe? And then not to mention you get a bunch of people that all feel the exact same way. And dude, it's a shouting match as to who can input their, oh, did you hear about this? Dude, you guys are getting each other fired up, So when it
And
comes
then
to
that's where that anecdotal evidence comes in because, when in anything that I always feel like anything that makes you feel some type of way emotionally to where you're gonna get fired up like that, like you have to do your homework hard as shit to make sure, like, okay, like before I get real mad, let me make sure. And then if it's because it could still be something like you're saying, like, okay, my mom's a nurse. And then what she says is 100.
Yeah.
So like that, I'm gonna allow that to get me fired up, and it's done.
right,
But then it's like, damn, you're right. Like, how far do we truly go in the sense of like, even that information that I'm pulling from my source, is that even 100%?
right.
Right.
And I think the problem too is like I can't sit here and fault the person that has the opposing view for having that view because they really may have seen, the worst of the worst case scenarios or whatever, right? And the people that I hear from that have the same view as me, they've seen the best case scenarios. But again, as a layperson, as a person who's not in the medical field, who doesn't see it as often as they do, who doesn't have as much vested, right, as in my job like that, who am I supposed to believe? What am I supposed to do? I got to come to my own kind of conclusion.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's like with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? Is the way things are done, the way the policy's written, the way laws are written. Like it's when you're on the outside looking in, it's kind of hard to understand and to really, especially like with the government telling us how dangerous it is and people are gonna die. That's like, but we still like too many of us are still unsure.
Right.
There's still too much information going in all different directions and too many people. That may have some type of privilege to the facts,
Right.
as like a nurse or a doctor, like that they're kind of skewing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was taking some notes here because I was like, oh, I gotta hit something
Yeah.
with you.
But see, like,
I know you're
like
gonna get in it.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it too, right? There even down to the facts that people are getting and giving, there are so many differing opinions on those things, right? The small details that shouldn't be fudged, that should just be hard evidence, right? And I think one of them is right the COVID test period by itself. Okay, all of these people are testing positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, well presupposes that you can trust the test.
Yeah.
Look at all of the evidence that shows that these tests are faulty. In the beginning, it was like a 60% chance you got a false positive.
I think you were telling me about the whole Elon Musk thing,
Elon
right? Where
Musk
he
thing, I
did
think I
like
mentioned it
4.
last time, right? He
Yeah.
took 4 tests in one day, 2 positive, 2 negative, right? You have all these people that got all the symptoms, test negative, right? You have people that live with people that have tested positive. They don't feel any symptoms. The other person lives with them, direct contact, husband, wife, whatever. They never test positive. What, again, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Does at some point is it reliant on you as a human with a consciousness to use logic and reason to determine what it is that the way that you're gonna live your life and you're gonna go about doing things, right? Whether it be the masks, whether it be hanging out, social distancing, going out, hanging out with family, seeing people. What are you going to let fuel you and drive you? Is it going to be the fear that everyone's trying to put in you? Oh, because, right, the number one thing they're saying is don't be the person that gets somebody. You don't want to be responsible for somebody dying.
Yeah.
Is there anything more worrisome to people that have empathy and care for people in their lives? Is I don't want to make somebody die. They're going to hit you right where it hurts, right where you're going to be like, dang, I don't want to be that guy.
So, do you think that the first little note I took was a conspiracy theory? What do you think? Do you think? I'm looking at it from 2 different sides, and we'll hit it too because I'm looking at it from the medical side, and Ronnie touched on this a little bit just in our little conversation that we had, but capitalism within the medical field, right? So we'll hit that. But do you think so? So what do you think? Like, do you think that because you mentioned here too, like, look, they're testing, they're rolling out these tests, they're rolling out this foundation of a test to try to determine who has it and who doesn't, and that seems faulty. Do you think that they're just trying to run shit out? Do you think it's like where do you think it's going and why, and how's it getting to this point?
I don't know that I can pinpoint like the genesis of why it seems like they're doing what they're doing,
and how
right?
fast
Because you, especially with you bring up the conspiracy theory thing, it just so happened on an election year where you have a lot of people that didn't like Trump, didn't like him in office, didn't like his policies. There's all of those things. How do you control people? You control people through fear, right? All of these things that are kind of like suggestions at some point are now going to turn into mandates. You are required anytime you leave your house to wear a mask, right? You're starting to infringe on the rights that we have as Americans, that we have for living in this country, the rights that we were born with, that we didn't have to do it. That other people already fought for these rights. People are already and continually fighting for these rights. It appears that they're trying to be taken away from us, and they're never going to be able to come out right and say, hey, you now need to do this. You now cannot do this. It would never fly.
Yeah.
But you throw in something that's going to make people afraid, or you start putting fear into people about being the cause of someone else getting sick, all of a sudden,
like that guilt.
all of a sudden, it doesn't seem as bad when they're telling you to put on a mask. They're saying put on the mask is for the health of somebody else, right? You care about people, so you're going to do it.
So that direction goes out the window.
What you don't realize is that's just the start of it. Right now, it's just this thing. It's just this for a moment in time. Now it's going to turn it. Well, you were already doing it, so now I'm just going to make it a requirement, and you have to do it. Right? You can't.
So kind of like what they did. They started saying they were going to enforce it, right?
Right.
And you had sheriffs like Sheriff Bianco that was like, I'm not turning normal day people into.
Well, perfect example. We have sites that we rent out and we permit out at work for people to use. They only want people to use the fields and the areas that are permitted. If there's any kind of other activities going on that are not permitted, they don't want them there. They want us to do stuff to block them from going there. They want us to call the police. They want us to call other people to shut them down. What reason or logic can you come up with that makes sense?
Yeah.
Just a little piece of paper that someone paid for to say I can practice here.
Yes.
How does that have anything to do with COVID at
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
other than other people using a facility or something that
Yeah.
don't have a permit.
Or preventing the transmission of COVID.
And let's say I go to work, I get temperature check,
Yeah.
I feel fine,
Yeah.
right? I go get a test that day. What's to say when I go out and I go to the grocery store and I push the little pin pad where I put my ATM card? Who says the person before me didn't have COVID? I just got tested that day. It comes back negative. They didn't test me after. It's impossible to try and follow these kind of things. So I just think it's, and I said it last time. I truly think, and my mom and dad both got it.
Yeah.
They said it hit them extremely hard. I don't think that it's nothing. I think it's a real thing. I think COVID is a real thing. The people that I've heard have gotten it, they said, some people have said I just felt like I had the flu. Some people said I had like a flu times 2. But like I said, and like I feel, people aren't doing normal activity in normal day life. Your immune system is not as strong when you sit at home and you do nothing. There are several cases and several instances of other cities, states, and even countries, granted smaller countries, where they have done absolutely no shutdown, and they did like a herd immunity kind of thing. And they're back, they're thriving. We're adults, right? I think that's the biggest thing, and I struggle with this. Don't tell me what to do. I'm an adult. Give me the information, but allow me to make the decision for myself. If I want to be irresponsible with my health and with all that stuff, allow me to do that, right? I'm an adult. I can make those decisions for myself.
Now, what do you feel when you hear all this stuff going on? What do you feel is being told to you? Like, if the government was knocking on the door, like, what do you hear when you hear all this stuff going on as an individual? Because you said, like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. So, like, how does that translate to, like, your everyday life? Like, what?
Well, it only affects me in the instances where, for example, at work, we're extremely short-staffed, right? Well, that is caused because people move on, whatever. I don't have the ability to hire and replace those positions because our economy isn't flowing like it should be. Why? Because they've decided to close down businesses, not allow people to dine inside, limit stuff. That's where it affects me, is where I can't go sit at a restaurant. I can't go sit inside P.F. Chang's if I wanted to. It's not open. I don't want to sit outside. It's too freaking cold.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to come home, my wife makes some bomb food. I'll just have my wife cook me food.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, the idea of going out and getting food is to go out and sit in the ambiance, get served by somebody, right? Have somebody take all that kind of stuff. So granted, it doesn't affect me in the big ways, but they try to target each individual person, regardless of how high up on or low on the chain you sit. They want to make it so you aren't the cause of someone else getting sick, right? By wearing the mask, by social distancing.
It's like that mental manipulation.
They even tell you don't go out and don't or have a socially distanced Christmas or whatever, right? Don't you expect me not to see my family, not to see? Dude, what do people need more than anything? Is they need the community of things, right? People they're tribal people. No one, right? That's why solitary confinement is such a harsh punishment.
Yeah.
Right? Is because it's so damning to the person and who they are in the psyche.
Yeah,
but that's what they're forcing people to do.
Yeah.
Is that kind of stuff. And that's where I think, going to your question, is what is it doing to me and how is it affecting me? That's where I see it affecting me. And that kind of stuff kind of gets me riled up because then it affects my family, my kids. They're not in school.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And on top, and this is at a moment now where I am so glad I'm not on social media. Because I don't have to hear somebody else's opinion about, right? Ronnie tells me all the time.
We were talking that earlier,
Yeah, Ronnie tells me all the time. Someone will jump on their Instagram stories and be like, wear your effing mask. How hard is it to wear your effing mask? I'm like, come on, dude. If you want to wear a mask and it makes you feel safe, then do it. It's
Then
not
do it.
supposed to protect me. It's supposed to protect you anyways, right? If I'm not wearing a mask, it's because I want COVID supposedly. Let me get COVID then. Don't keep your mask on. It makes you feel good. It's
Yeah.
protecting you.
Yeah.
You're safe. Don't worry about me. Don't tell me again. Don't tell me what to do. I am 33 years old. I can make a decision for
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. So you want to have the ability to be like, look, the government shouldn't be trying to manipulate me into doing what they want me to do with this other BS. Give me the facts, be straight up, be transparent about it, and then allow me to make the decision if I want to do that or not.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I
because
see. I see.
because again, and it goes with a lot of different things, right? Through time, through conversation, through all of that stuff, through dialoguing with people, right? You learn as you grow up. It comes with wisdom to be able to use logic, reason, thought. If you're willing, and some people are, some people aren't, to kind of question the ideas that you have, not necessarily be married to ideas. We should be allowed to use that kind of stuff to make decisions and wise decisions that we feel is necessary.
Okay.
That shouldn't be, well, I don't trust the decisions that you're making, so I'm going to make them for you.
Okay.
Right? An elected official isn't there to tell me what to do.
Yes.
They're there to govern over a large group of people to make certain decisions,
Yeah,
but
they're-
not decisions
they're-
about me.
Yes, they're a
as the
representative of us, not necessarily to tell us what to do. They're not there to tell us what to do.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, you're gonna hear that squeaky noise on the microphone, but this is bugging me.
Oh yeah. That's where we were trying to figure out what to do with our hands.
Yeah, if you guys hear it on the audio, and then you'll see it if you watch the video too. I'm a fidgeter, big time. So I'm always moving and squirming and grabbing stuff. So I'm trying to limit myself to it.
We'll apologize ahead of time.
Yeah. It just happens, though.
Okay, so I mean, I can see that, and
Well, the other thing, and this is a complete sidebar, I had the opportunity to see 3 Jets games this year. Granted, the Jets are playing terrible football, but they played twice in LA and once in Seattle. Now, name another time a fan of an East Coast football team would have had the opportunity to see their team play on the West Coast at 3 different times in the same season. I could never understand asking people that get paid a lot of money to play a sport that they've dedicated their life to not play it to win. So I actually appreciate the fact that they're winning. The only thing that makes me mad is this is probably going to prolong Adam Gase's job with the Jets as the head coach.
I know you hate Adam Gase.
I hate Adam Gase. I said it from the moment he got hired, and he is proving me absolutely correct in my feeling towards him. I'd want that dude fired so bad. He is a horrible coach.
I'm not gonna get you too fired up on the Jets because now your COVID already got
So-
you fired up
yes.
already.
So right, mad tangent right there. But yes, right, it affected me that way too. I had the opportunity to see 3 Jets games, and I didn't even have to leave the West Coast, and all that got shut down. So that's the cherry on top of the sundae that pissed me off.
Wow. See, I can see that. I can see that. I look at it like, me and Lukester were talking about the stimulus checks again, and I was telling them, like, man, what do you think? Like, do you think they should be rolling this out? Like, I know people are probably struggling, we talked about it. They're shutting down businesses and shit.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot of work to take a lot of time to try to figure out like who needs it individually. So I understand how it's just being disseminated throughout, like, here, boom, here it is. And one of the things that we looked at it is financially, that's rough because it's like this money has to come from somewhere.
Absolutely.
And if we're trying to take the $1,200 here, $2,000 here, $600 here, like, how's it going to get paid back? Number one, where is it coming from? And number two is how is it going to get fixed? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's kind of like being able to step back, like you said, right? As adults, we all need to be able to put our heads together to be like, all right, look, how do we fix this? How do we fix this? Is there a way to open a business so that a set individual can create and generate income, not only from themselves, but for the people that work there, the people that help service a community, but also keeping that buck being passed in the community. But is there a right way to do it safely to where people aren't going to get sick and be passing it on, et cetera, et cetera? Because I completely agree with you. I mean, it's so weird, man. It's so weird the directions it's going in. Where you had you have a house. One of the supervisors at work, he was saying his whole entire family got sick besides him. All of his kids, his wife, they were all around each other. They were all hanging out for a week. It was like during a vacation, and he was just like, I don't understand it. He makes it seem like he's like Superman, like he has like that little
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you know, I'm O
Yeah,
positive, and
yeah.
the virus doesn't like O positive, and
Well, if
you
that's the
know,
case, I'm O positive too, so I got his back on that.
see, I'm all negative, but I'm like, man, sit, no, no, nah, bruh,
Yeah,
nah, bruh.
yeah.
Like, listen, like I don't know that to me, and I'll just put it this way, and that's fine. But that's where we start getting too far into speculation. We're like, okay, come on, let's come back
Right, right, right,
into,
right, right.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it is, but to me, like that's what's confusing to me. And when you don't have that transparency, you're like, wait, hold on a second here. And this is my biggest thing. I had a long years ago. I was telling a coworker of mine where I was like, man, I don't like the fact that capitalism touches the medical profession in the sense that health insurance, medical insurance is so expensive, right? The private companies, I have Kaiser Permanente, and for how much money, how much income they generate. So it's like, yeah, okay, every flu season you get a free flu shot. But then other than that, like it's difficult to make appointments. It's difficult to show up, right?
Co-pays,
Co-pays,
prescriptions.
and
Yep.
and like now, like we all have asthma, and Kaiser's been like reducing the amount of inhalers we were able to get. So we have to go in and pay our copay, but they'll be like, if you want two inhalers at one time, they're like, I don't know. And I said, listen, man, like I carry one at work. I need one at the house. We have one, like just an extra one if we lose one. Like I need like three or four.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have expiration dates. Like, does it really expire? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But if it doesn't, then you gotta be able to provide, or I have to have the opportunity. Like it's a steroid that helps me breathe. Like
Right.
people die from asthma, but it's almost like, nah, I can only give you one inhaler for your entire family that has shitty asthma,
Whoa.
and it's gonna have an expiration date, and it's just like. I'm getting tired and I'm really pissed off from the lack of transparency in the medical field in the sense that you're right. I've always seen that. Like my pediatric doctor growing up, he studied asthma, and so I would hear stuff from other doctors or people that would sit in, or if he was sick, or if for some reason I couldn't see him and say, "Hey, this doctor told me to do X, Y, Z," and he'd be like, "No, no, 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 it doesn't make any sense."
Yeah.
And I almost feel like the medical field cannot be a profession in which you have people that become doctors because they make a fat ass paycheck and because of the status of being a doctor, right? The status that you have in a hospital because you're a doctor, right? And it's just like you can't do that. You can't be playing around in people's lives like that. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
see the parallel between that and also law enforcement?
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
There's
yes.
police officers that just want the
The clout.
the fact that they're known that they're officers, that they carry a gun, that they got a badge.
Yes.
It's kind of that thing. So yeah, I
It
agree with you.
is, and so I look at it as like it's a capitalism thing, and me and Lucas had like a big argument about it. I said, listen, man, like these people, like even this vaccine, like they're making money. Like these pharmaceutical companies, Pfizer's making money off this vaccine. And then when you do have the medical profession that's going and telling everyone, they're spreading the word like, hey, go get the vaccine. And you have people that are like, I'm getting the vaccine as soon as I can. Like, where's the money coming from and where's it going again?
Yep.
And so now it's like, all right, what about people who don't have medical insurance? How is that being paid? Is it being paid with our tax dollars?
Yeah.
And then is this vaccine even going to work? How did they develop the vaccine? So it's I don't know, man.
Well,
It's like all over the
I think
place.
the something. I mean, not to go too far off base with, kind of what we're delving into, but you don't even, there is not even a price list for stuff that is done medically for people. You just, right, we had a baby last March. You end up seeing, now we didn't have to pay for anything other than like I think a day of the hospital stay or whatever. But you don't, all you see is, hey man, this, you're staying in the hospital, this, all of this stuff, accumulate. It was $80,000. Now your insurance paid $79,950 or whatever. But there's not even a breakdown. Well, then they give you a breakdown after the fact. There's nowhere where you can go and, hey, walk into a hospital. Hey, I'm going to have a baby soon. How much is it for me to have a doctor deliver my baby? How much is it per nurse to be in the room?
Yeah.
How much is it for the little beanie they give you?
Yeah.
How much is it for the food that you're going to charge me when I'm here? There's no price. They get to arbitrarily set whatever they want.
Yeah.
And no one's regulating that. So that's what, it's crazy. My insurance, I have Blue Shield.
Yeah.
Blue Cross, Blue Shield. I don't know, it changes whatever, but I have the blue whatever.
Okay.
It goes up every single year. Every year. Nothing is added to my insurance.
Yeah.
I don't all of a sudden.
Like no benefit. You're not getting additional benefits.
My copays don't go down.
Yeah.
I don't get more chiropractic visits.
Extra baby beanies.
I don't get extra baby beanies. I don't get extra swaddling blankets. Bro,
Yeah,
they give me
yeah.
nothing extra, but they, again, charge me, and it goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, I have the family plan, which no matter how many freaking kids I have, it's capped at a certain level,
Yeah.
right? It's just family, add another kid, you don't get an extra charge.
They can't keep charging
But
you.
yeah, it's insane, man. It is insane how they can just charge these random prices because they feel like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Or even like the people who are getting sick with COVID and they're going into an ICU, a specialized unit with specialized care. Like imagine that the financial stamp that's on that if they come out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's probably hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Go even inside of what you're saying, right? All of the special equipment that's there, the special drugs that they use that are there. Dude, a pharmaceutical company ain't giving this super drug away for free. These hospitals, these public hospitals, private hospitals, they're paying for this stuff. Right, so these people are getting mad rich, right? Well, where's the money that the hospital's paying for the drugs? Where's that coming from?
Where is it coming from?
Right, it's coming from us paying our premiums and our copays and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right, which is just a rent. But now if you have more insurances, more transparency, right? Now I can go to each doctor and determine, okay, well, this doctor has a good reputation, but they charge less for this procedure. Well, I'm going to go with this doctor then, right? There's more competition, right? That's how you get better pricing.
Yeah.
Right? If there's only one person, they can charge whatever they want, and you have to pay, and you don't have a choice. You're stuck. So you're kind of just screwed as to
your options.
Exactly.
And
then
these are
you
options
guys
for
given
your
an option
life.
for insurance?
We do. We get
Because I know my mom when she worked for the school district, initially they were given options, and then it completely got taken away, and it was only Kaiser.
You know what? We have Kaiser, or you can use, it's like, we'll call it Blue Shield, right? Let's say Blue Shield. So, Blue Shield of California, you can choose either one. I think they're PPOs. I've always had a Kaiser just because we've had Kaiser for a long time, with Dad working for the state, etc. And but you do have the option, and like, a lot of guys would say like, okay, I want to be able to have the opportunity to go, like, if I need to go see a podiatrist, I can just schedule that. Like,
Right.
I don't got to go see my primary at Kaiser and then have the Kaiser schedule it and come back again and take 2 days off, or have to come, like, that is kind of silly. I like the network of Kaiser because it's all within a network. You know what I'm saying? Everything's in one location. But at the same time, when you start looking at the guys who are running through like the Blue Cross stuff where they're going here for this and there for that and here for this, like, you're constantly having to pay copays everywhere. You got to spend so much money every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really you're probably most likely going to. So it just depends, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we do have an option.
Okay.
Like the one thing we don't have an option is in our retirement, which is bullshit, which is through
Yeah,
CalPERS,
we're the
where they
same.
had that dude who was investing all that money into those Chinese defense companies. Like I'm gonna get started with that. We're gonna get another tangent, but you know what I mean? Like that goes along the same lines of my form of thinking. Is like I'm looking at it from like this sense of like, are they trying to make money off of this shit or what? Like what's going on and what's going on, because
Hmm.
people are dying, people have died, and
Hmm.
there's a potential for more people to die.
For sure.
And so like why aren't we, like you said, why don't all of us have the same info, and why don't all of us know exactly what the hell's going on here and what we need to do and what options do we
Probably
have,
because it would show a lot of nefarious activities going on.
potentially, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
then now,
and it goes to, I think it goes to what is the original problem, right? The whole reason why all of this stuff gets brought up and mixed in and all that stuff is, right. People are fallible. People are greedy. People want
yes,
money. People want power. People want all of this stuff, and with that, they make the decisions that they make that benefit themselves.
yes,
Right. Very rarely do you have someone at the very top that puts the consideration of everyone else over themselves,
yeah.
right? And unfortunately, that's just kind of how it goes, and that's the people that are there. They're making the decisions for us because they've either tricked a bunch of people or people just blindly follow to do whatever this person says.
You know, earlier Ron said, she said, you know what, there was a point in time in which like a doctor could have told me anything and I would believe them because that's a doctor. But now she was like, in looking through all this stuff at this point, I feel like it could potentially be questionable. And that's scary. That could scare a lot
Absolutely.
of people. Because now you're like, damn, who do I trust? Like
Yep.
for the health and safety of our kids, our loved ones, right? For our lives.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, if let me give you another $100 and then maybe you'll be honest to me about it,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then it's just like, this is crazy to me, man. So
It's an unfortunate predicament that you find
yes,
yourself in.
yes, super crazy, bro. And then and it's kind of like for us at work where we have to contact a lot of people, and it's become a this kind of thing to like we like give people rides or getting in our cars. Like I've never. Like for me wearing masks and shit, bro. Like I don't care too much because I'm like, man, there's some dirty ass people
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like I always wear gloves. My neighbor used to always laugh at me because I'd wear gloves outside when I'm like doing like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, bro, I don't like touching this dirt and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't like that shit, right? But then it's the same concept. So like I don't get bothered by having to wear masks and shit because I'm like, there's some dirty ass like I'm always by dirty people all the time, right? And you don't know what some people be getting into. I'm always washing my hands. I've always been that way, man.
Yeah,
Putting
yeah, yeah.
hand sanitizer on, or
Yeah.
people trying to shake my hand at work. So, bro, I don't shake hands, bro. Like, maybe give you a pound and that's it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know what you be doing.
Yeah.
I pulled this one guy over one time, a quick tangent, and I walk up to the car. He was speeding, and I tell him, hey man, I stopped you because you were speeding. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry, I wasn't paying attention to my speed. I need your driver's license, registration, insurance, right? This fool pulls out he's trying to pull out his license, right? And he starts picking his nose at the same time. And so I'm like watching him. So he puts his wallet back in his hands, and he like starts kind of scratching his nose again, and he pulls his license out and tries to give it to me with the same hand that he just picked his nose with.
Now you got a booger license.
I was like, bro, you're gonna hold that thing out the window, and I'm gonna copy it, and you're gonna hold your arm up because that's just like, why would you do that? That's disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
It was so disgusting to me. Like I was so offended. I didn't care if I got a complaint. I was like livid. Like, bro, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like teachers
you.
like go into elementary school and teachers like lick their fingers and start rolling your papers. And I'm like, don't lick your finger and touch my paper, man. Like, what are
That's
you doing?
weird. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never been like a germaphobe.
You never have, bro.
Never.
Bro.
Never.
The kids are half.
I mean,
the kids are half Vietnamese, and you know, I used to always see. I just always look at it as like, look, their grandma always has like all these like remedies and these oils and all this shit, and I'm just like, I don't even trust that.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
don't trust shit. Like
yeah.
if you could have like a bruise, like their grandma would be like, put this on it. You can have a cut, like put this on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey,
It's like a
you
Mexican
feel
grandma.
sick, you put this
Vicks.
on it. Right?
Vicks
Yeah, and
cures
I'm like,
everything, bro.
that shit ain't doing nothing.
And
But I just don't trust any of that shit. Even
well,
like if it's
I
from
think this is like a bad character flaw in me, though. I think one of the reasons why I'm not one of the big hand washer guys or take extra precautions and being extra clean and stuff is because I'm lazy. I'm super, super lazy, right? I'll be at like when I was doing when I was doing maintenance, right? I'm touching every door handle in a facility. I'm touching, faucets in a bathroom. I'm changing stuff out. My hands, I'm in dirty nuts and bolts and
oh, bro,
all that kind of stuff,
I would
right?
die.
And then I go out to eat my lunch. I'm like, I should go inside and wash my hands.
And you didn't? Oh, JJ.
Nah, maybe
Oh, Jay.
I'll just hold the bag over my sandwich,
And you're
so
just
my hands
and you're
don't have
trying
to hold. But by the end, I got the sandwich in my hand and I'm eating it, and I'm like,
because you're tired of trying to manipulate the
yeah,
bag.
and
Oh,
I'm like,
bro,
whatever. But I mean, who knows what my insides look like? But
I
no
can't,
harm, no foul.
I cannot.
I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
that there's a lot of dirty stuff out there.
Yes.
It makes sense. I
Yes.
just too lazy to care.
Sienna listens to those. There's this podcast of these ladies that talk about like different viruses and shit, and they're talking about like hookworms and pinworms and all kinds of crazy
She
shit.
tried to
where
make
you're
a
like,
joke. Say I had pinworms the other day.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it was rude.
dude. I
was
did
rude.
it when I was a kid, and she talked so much shit about it. I was like, dude, I was a fucking kid. I was a kid. What kid wipes their ass right? What kid, like if
Rich kids bidet. Use a
see,
bidet.
that's
So
where
they're
it
good.
came from, because they knew that the kids weren't wiping their ass and they
right.
were getting pinworms.
That's right.
But see that like that's crazy. Like now you have little kids running around not wiping their ass, and then they want to shake your hand and then they want a
Dirty booty.
sticker.
Oh, I know. I have 5 kids, and I've watched several dirty chonies, bro. So
Well,
I
you're
know.
like, what?
I know little kids.
Oliver's nickname
Yeah.
is Skid Mark.
Yeah.
So now you're like, dude, we already got all this shit going on already. So like the whole mask and everything with COVID is not a big deal for me, but I look at like the aspect of like
it makes me
what are they
irate,
trying
bro.
to do and how much are they trying to make money? We got the stimulus check shit going down with it, like where everyone's getting all this money. It's like, where the fuck's all this money coming from?
Yeah.
Where's it gonna go? Are they gonna come back and take it from us later? Like what?
Well, I've heard that it's supposed to, obviously they're going to add it onto our taxes for the upcoming year. And it'll be taken out that way. So we'll see how it affects us and people. And that part of it breaks my heart, man. I mean, I've been blessed enough to have my job. I got hired at my original job during the recession. And things obviously got better. Now we're in this, but I've been extremely blessed, and I do not take for granted the fact that I've been able to continue working and no hiccups at all whatsoever. But I drive by, you drive by something that was a restaurant at some point, and doors are closed, lights are off. They just couldn't make it for whatever reason, right? I know a hairdresser. She ended up getting COVID, didn't have any symptoms or anything, but obviously let all her clients know, hey, I have it. I'm going to take my, 14-day quarantine period. 70% of her clients stopped coming back.
Damn. So she's hurting.
Bro, like, how are you supposed to survive something like that? How are normal people, especially people that have given up everything to own a business, to run a business, to manage a business?
Yeah.
How are those people supposed to survive?
Yeah.
We've seen all these things, these stories about these people that have restaurants like out in LA, and they had purchased $40,000 worth of tent equipment, outdoor heaters, chairs, tables, to be able to move their service from indoors to outdoors to comply.
Yeah.
And then they get shut down that way.
That's
Not only
crazy.
are they asked out because they don't have as much business because they're not doing business inside.
Yeah.
Now they just spent $40,000 on top of that, and they're out that, and they can't even get a chance to start making their money back on that.
That's crazy, bro.
Come on, all because other people are telling us what we can and cannot do. That is the reason for it.
That's insane.
To me, it's that black and white. It's that I understand. Right? And I'll even say if someone wants to comment on the YouTube, if someone wants to, you can't DM me because I don't have a social media. But if I understand that this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I understand there are things that people don't know, but be transparent with us and let us make decisions for ourselves.
Yeah.
Let a restaurant that wants to be open stay open. Let a business that wants to be open that provides a service, hair salon, nail salon, massage parlor, let them stay open if they want to stay open. If the people want to go to them and they understand the risk, let them go to them.
Yeah. Now, what or who, if it was translated to you, what or who would you believe? What? Because obviously, like what we're saying here, we can't. If the doctors were to come out and say, "Hey, Jay, I'm being transparent,"
for sure,
I would still be like,
I think at this point it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late to feel 100% comfortable with somebody.
It's too late.
It's too late. Right now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, a lot more leeway, right? You.
So they fucked up.
So right, but think about it. Until you realized the information that somebody was feeding you was BS.
Yeah.
Until you realized it or heard it from somebody, you believed it.
Yeah.
That goes with anything.
So they should have started off with
should have started off with being
some type of communication that made us feel more comfortable about what was going on.
Yeah.
And they fucked up.
But there's so many little things that they were throwing in there with it. It's so hard to trust at this point what it is.
My mom, Mama Mejia, was like, hey, you guys got to put out the right information here. Anyway, I just talked to a nurse at work yesterday, and the nurse was talking about the vaccine, and she was saying that she got it. She's like, you guys are going to get it right. You're going to get it right. And there was 4 of us in there.
Nurse?
We're all like, we're like looking around at each other. She was a really nice lady. And so we were like, I don't know. And I told her straight up, like, look, I don't know, man. I
plans
can't.
on getting it. No.
I don't know, like, what this is. I don't know. Like, everyone's saying this. Everyone's saying that. Everyone's saying this. So she was able to break it down a little bit. And she was like, look, she goes, like, she was kind of explaining this doctor. And it seems like there's so much to it. It's kind of crazy. But she was saying this doctor in San Diego helped create the vaccine. And that the vaccine is designed to help your body identify and attack the protein layer of the virus, so that if the virus gets introduced into your immune system, that your body will immediately recognize the protein and then start killing it before it can replicate, it can attach to cells and just start really fucking shit up. So I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And we were talking about last week where I was like, hey, this guy there, like, and I'm just kind of reiterating what this gentleman was saying. And he was like, look, I heard that, if you get it, you could still get COVID and pass it on. And so the nurse was like, no, you can't. Like, the vaccine is just for your body to be able to identify the virus and to kill it. And then I told her, like, well, what about the mutation? Like, they're talking about it mutated out in Europe already. And so she was saying, like, yeah, it did mutate, but it's a different part of the virus that mutated. Let's say of the cell. So if you have the cell and we're attacking the protein with the vaccination, let's say, like, it's the little crown horns that mutated, and now they're like U-shaped unicorns or some shit. And then now, right? And then but the vaccine is still teaching our body to attack the protein, which would still kill the virus regardless of the mutation. Now, so I said, so what happens if it mutates? What if the protein mutates, or what if we're trying to attack mutates? Then she was like, then we would have to develop a whole new vaccine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So kind of like the mutation in the flu every year. Like, we had to get vaccinated because the flu is always mutating.
Right.
And so I was just like, damn, but now you're getting so deep off into the weeds to where you're like, okay, I get that. That makes sense to me. Like, that's probably one of the first things that has made sense to me this whole time. And so I'm like, I get it. But now it's just like, well, shit, like, it was kind of fast, right? Like Ron Dog was saying, like, hey, how did all this happen? How did it get so bad? And then boom, they have a vaccine right now. Is it because of history? Is it because like, hey, we've been through this before with the other viruses, or whether it was bacteria or whatever it may have been? So maybe we have somewhat of the recipe to where like, okay, we know we need to identify A, B, and C
Right.
to be able to fight it, right? And then will it
But
eradicate it? Like, what's going to happen from here on out?
right, and we'll think about it too. What level is COVID versus other stuff, and don't have a vaccine that's been around longer. We still don't have a vaccine for.
Like what?
How does it? I mean, well, isn't well, look at
Tuberculosis from
so all of a sudden this happens this fast, right? It's supposed to be there, and that again goes back to conspiracies. Was it generated in a lab? Is it a weapon, so to speak? Was it was it intentionally released? Whether it came from the wet market or a lab, was it put there intentionally? Right?
was this by design?
Right.
Yeah.
And now this quickly you have something that's spread across the world, global. It is global. I don't think there's anything other than the flu, right? That's like that, right? That's still like that. That it's afflicting all these people.
Yeah.
But so quickly you have what they're calling a vaccine to do whatever. And I'm sure that
And
nurse
there's
said
only
that.
two companies. There's only two
I'm sure
companies.
so that nurse said that. I'm sure you can find another doctor, another nurse that has a very different opinion
A
about it.
different story, or they're like,
And
oh,
then
this is
and
what
then
it's about.
and then going on that too, right? And I didn't even watch all of the videos, but there was they released those videos of that group of doctors telling you their quote unquote truth of coronavirus. Their videos kept getting pulled from YouTube, from all different types of social media
Oh,
platforms,
what were
Facebook.
they saying? Those are the people that were saying like it's what?
I don't remember exactly. I think they were saying something about it's not as bad. I think they were saying it's not as bad as everyone is making it out to be. And there was a group of several doctors, but every time a video was posted or put up, it was pulled down. So that naturally makes makes me wonder, well, why? Well, of course, they come around and say, well, that's hurtful information. Well, again, allow me to determine whether it's hurtful or not. There's still are there or are there not still smoking commercials?
Yeah.
Are people still not advertising smoking? Is there anything more obvious that is not healthy for you?
Yeah. Or alcohol.
Still free and available for anybody
Yeah.
to use,
Yeah.
right? Allow me to determine if I believe it or not. Don't pull it, because now I'm thinking like, well, they must have something important to say, right? If the media sources that are pulling them down are far left leaning, well, now what? Because I'm definitely more right leaning than I am left. Well, now I'm intrigued. Why? Why is it so damning what they're saying? Right, another conspiracy. Right, are certain strings being pulled and people being silenced? And if they're being silenced, well, it's convenient to say that's because they're spreading lies and potentially harmful information.
That could be
Or
very subjective. I
are
mean,
are they telling people the truth?
are they telling the truth, and then now they're trying to cloud that?
Yep.
Wow.
Again, yeah. So, back to the original thing. Who do you trust? Who can you say, "Yep, I believe so and so"? I
Jesus.
think, yeah,
That's it. Can't trust anybody else, bro.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, and your
When
your
see it,
worldview and what you ultimately view of life, of people, of people's worth, of all of that stuff, it's going to have a heavy weight on how you move through what's going on.
yeah, and your perception
Right,
of what's going on.
right,
True.
right.
I agree. It's crazy, bro. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think even without shit, I don't even know how to even come to a conclusion.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm
It's
just like, man, I
crazy.
don't know. I don't know. I don't
It's
understand.
crazy to me, man. I like I said, I have no intention on taking the vaccine at all. I'm not gonna take something just because they're telling me to take it, and There's definitely not been enough research on it. It's so brand new.
I definitely don't want to be a part of that first
Good
wave.
luck convincing me. That's all I have to say. And I tell you what's not going to be convincing is someone trying to yell at me, tell me how stupid I am, tell
Like
me
that
how.
disrespect,
Yeah,
yeah.
like come on. If you want to dialogue, I'll dialogue with you about anything. The
Yeah.
one thing that I'm not is too prideful to say, "Hey, I got that wrong," or I'm not too prideful to say, "You know what? You are making some great points, and you are out debating me at the moment. Let me fine. I'll subside and say dude. If I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But don't come to me with some weak stuff or just your feelings about it, and not be open to the other side.
Yeah,
And
you're
just want to
right.
do that
You're right.
cognitive dissonance where it's just you're just gonna spew and say whatever you want to say without listening to the other side. I'll absolutely dialogue with anybody about anything. You're not gonna. Yeah, you're not. Don't try to bully me into feeling the way that you feel. Because it don't work like that. That's not how you get people to come together and have real discussion and real
Yeah.
dialogue to figure out what the truth is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not only and not even what the truth is too. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying I'm going to come with some crazy information, some crazy knowledge that nobody has.
Yeah.
But something somebody says could definitely convince me to understanding and thinking a certain way.
Yeah.
Right. And I won't be so judgmental or so hard on when I see somebody doing something a certain way.
True.
It's not
I
always about making them turn to your point, but sometimes it's giving them the chance to understand why it is that you feel the way you do and think the way that you do.
that has to be the best way to come to having understanding from where two sides or both parties, whatever that found that equation is going to be, to have an understanding.
Yeah.
You're right. You have to be able to meet each other in the middle, not one person going in one direction or the two people going up opposing directions. It's never going to work, right? It got
You're
to come
literally
together.
wasting time and breath. And energy
Definitely.
if it's not mutual.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. We got to be able to figure something else out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy. But then even like I think what I was kind of starting to hint to it earlier in the fact that like at our job, it's like we're still required to be like, hey, go out and do this. Hey, go out and write people tickets still. And it's like, wait, man, we're passing out stimulus checks to people who are broke. They're not making money, but I'm still required. Like, you're still telling me to go out and write tickets. And these people still got to go to court to pay $500-$600 tickets.
That they probably don't have the money for.
Right. And some people earn their tickets for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I just don't like it all the way around, man.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think for me, at the point to where I would feel like, all right, yo, I kind of have, let me lean towards feeling or thinking, or even in my perception, the only way my perception would feel like a person's being honest or transparent is without like any monetary value to this thing. If it's like, hey, I'm a doctor and I know my shit, I create vaccines. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not looking to get paid for it. Like, I'm strictly doing this out of this for the safety of people,
Yeah.
for the safety of humanity, and for my fellow American. Like, let me work and do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then at that point, I'd be like, okay, what do you got to say, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's true. But I mean, name a place where that's
It's not gonna
it's
happen.
not.
They're gonna be like, "Hey, I went to
Right.
college, so you can pay me. I know about vaccines.
I
You're gonna pay me a shit,
right. I
shit
paid
ton of money."
$250,000 in student fees to become a doctor. You're gonna definitely pay me for my knowledge and my this and my that.
Don't even get me started on college. We're gonna have a podcast about college institutions and how much money they charge.
Yeah, I have to
Bro,
do
this
some,
is crazy,
I
bro.
have to do some
It's
little research
crazy,
on that.
bro. This is
I
crazy.
don't know nothing about the college thing.
Oh, dude, I don't like any of that shit.
All I know is I went to a junior college. I had a baby, so they gave me a check to pay for my classes, and I was golden.
Bro.
Football was over, and I stopped going to junior college. So that's about the extent of my college knowledge.
I feel like, football players and athletes always get paid, but we're gonna go in a deep. Well, we'll have to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah,
one because
yeah.
they're gonna
I'm
get
down.
taken care of because
Okay.
they're gonna make money for that shit.
Yeah.
It's like an investment for them, man. Colleges, man.
But see, that's the other.
Our education should be. I'm pretty conservative, but there are certain things that I feel are a necessity in society. And I think it's healthcare, like for us to be healthy and have the opportunity to be healthy and for us to be educated, right? I don't think education should be a privilege, right? And it shouldn't be something where we're just handing out a shit ton of money to people. Like we
And
should be
you mean
educated
education all the way to the very top.
all the way to the top.
Okay.
Like all the way to the top. Because if the more educated people that we have in society, the I feel like more people in society are going to be making more educated decisions. They're going to learn how to make an educated decision. They're going to be in more positions to create, right? It's kind of like Lucas argues with me about capitalism, and you were saying it earlier. Like if we have more, if we have more, like medical businesses. I'm sorry. Cena yells at me when I do that. I forget what I'm saying.
You're
If we
good.
have more businesses, there are
It's a
more
glitch in the
hospitals,
matrix.
right? Yeah, like they can start to argue or not to argue to each other, but it creates competitive pricing.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I've never really thought about it that much, but and I could be wrong, but I would say now more than ever we have more educated people, and I don't feel that that's the case.
you don't think
Because
so?
and one of the things, then I've felt like this for a while when it comes to education and universities and stuff. A lot of professors and people that work at the university, that's all they know. The only thing they've done is they've gone elementary, middle, high school, university. Then from university, they've stayed there. They've done internships or student aid programs, and then they've become a professor themselves. They know absolutely nothing about the real world, but they're teaching kids unless they have the same want to be in the university teaching nothing about the university school. I mean, we know it. How much do we sit down and we've talked about, man, I wish they would have taught us how to do our taxes in high school.
Yeah.
I wish they would have taught me how to save money in high school. They don't teach you none of that stuff. So the stuff that we use in the real world, very little of it is applicable from what we've learned from high school. The exact same thing goes for universities.
Yeah.
And now, not only that, they're not just talking about, right, math and statistics for accountants and stuff like that. Now you have gender studies. You have all of these things, and there's so many other things that are heavily biased towards one side or the other. It's not just here. These are the facts. This is the knowledge and information you need to use in the real world. It's definitely weighed heavily on the university.
Yeah.
So I feel like now more than ever, we have more educated people than ever. And I don't see these wise decisions being made and these educated decisions being made. But again, this is 100% off because I've never looked into any of this kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
that's just
I could
where
no,
I'm
I
like,
agree with you. And I could see that. And but again, I think at the same time, right? Like when we have more educated people, it should be in a direction of like creating more hospitals that create a competitive market all the way around, right? We have more people creating, we have more people getting into a field or having a particular profession, and they are creating something to progress everything. You understand? And that's kind of like the way I comprehend it, and I'm like, okay, I understand that, but then it's like, well, shit, like if you're having to go to college, I think we do have more people that are educated or are more. I would say there's a higher level of awareness. I think, and from my perspective, there's a higher level of awareness versus like a lot of people being educated. Because you're right, everyone with awareness and education are still making bad decisions, and they're still like very like
well, and that's
emotional based.
subjective as well, right?
True.
Bad decisions.
True.
That's based off of what we determine, what we say.
We're
is
always right. We're
I
always right.
couldn't agree more.
But I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and I think that would be like a whole nother like podcast where we got.
That's something
like,
I'll
really
have to
dive
do
into
some
that.
research and look into and stuff because I've never. My dad always said, and it never rang more true in my life. never sacrifice an education. How did he say it? Yeah, I think something like never sacrifice your education for school. Right. My dad went to school, went to high school, and that was that. And he's extremely successful,
Very.
extremely wise,
One of the hardest workers we
extremely
know.
intelligent, and he has a high school education, and
Yeah.
that's on paper that's it.
Yeah.
But if you talk to him, you're like, dude, this dude's lived several lifetimes, right? So, yeah, the only reason I went to JUCO was to play football.
play ball.
The only reason I would have ever went to university
To play
is
ball.
to play ball.
Yeah, I feel
I didn't
same
do
thing.
I didn't
yeah.
do either one. I stopped at JUCO, and the rest is history.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing well. So I think I needed like 1 or 2 classes to get an AA. I have zero desire to do that. It has no benefit to me at all.
You're like, so what? Who cares?
And
yeah.
I know electricians that went to trade school for 2.5 years that are making double what people with 6 years of college under their belt are making.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't always equal, the juice isn't always worth the squeeze.
Yes. Yeah.
But like you said, that's another
Bro.
discussion for another day, man.
We're gonna hit that one hard. We're gonna hit the ground running on
What
that.
are we at right now, time wise?
1:13, hour 13. Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple more minutes, and then
I gotta get another monitor for that. It overheated already.
The monitor or the camera?
The camera overheated.
So the camera stopped recording.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's bullshit, huh?
We got audio. We're good.
But that's gonna look hard though. We're gonna have some.
It will. If you haven't watched yet, watch, because we steady upgrading and
all the time.
but yeah, I and I may disagree with a lot of decisions that are being made to shut things down, to close things up, to not allow people to do what they want. But that doesn't come from, I don't think, for me, it doesn't come from a place of like disrespect.
What do you mean?
Because I think, especially nowadays, instead of people talking like we discussed or having a dialogue, it's a lot of who, unless it's an outright like slap to my face. Like, it's never like a thing where like, I understand you have you have the people's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
You just may be ill-informed, or you just may be not, in my opinion, not using the sound logic, right? I mean, on our board, it says Newsom sucks.
Yeah.
Right? That's very clear. But this guy he's clearly not following the rules he's setting before everyone else.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is insane.
Crazy.
This dude is criminally running this state. It is
crazy.
insane. But I think there's people that lower levels, obviously, than the governor, that are just making bad decisions, and it's not anything. Like I said, it's not anything. Like I don't say that they're making the bad decisions, and I'm gonna yell at them, and I'm here to fight them. And no. I just think that at a certain point, you need to let adults be adults and do their thing.
Okay, I see.
I'm not trying to say you're doing wrong and I don't like you for it and I hate you for it.
Yeah, you're not trying to start a war.
Come on, let's if I disagree with you, I disagree with you, and like I said, we can have a dialogue and we can talk about it. But I'm obviously going to come with the way I feel and stuff like that, and you're going to come with yours, and let's talk it out. Let's. It's never a hated thing, man.
Yeah, let's just.
The one thing
figure it
I
out.
love more than anything is being challenged to think.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, especially about stuff I know nothing about or have very little information about.
Yeah.
I can do a fairly decent job, I think, deducing, whatever information I'm given and give you my opinion. It may not be factual. It may not be based on a lot, but I tend to think that I can use some sound reasoning to have a conversation with somebody. Now, if somebody's got some heavy facts and some hard artillery, and I'm like, yo, you got me caught, bro.
I'm just listening.
I'm lost.
I'm just
I'll
listening.
come and we
to
can
play.
give me some time, but I welcome that, man. I love having conversations like
man.
that.
Yeah.
Even if it's stuff to where I'm asking questions not to debate, not to catch them. I gotcha moment,
Like,
right?
ha!
It's true. It's me truly trying to understand why you think the way that you think.
In comprehension, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you feel the way that you feel? How did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
Right. I love the idea of having those kind of discussions. And right, I want to know truth. I think that's what a lot of people are after, is what truth is.
Yeah.
And truth is not relative. Truth is truth, man. There's only one truth. So
Yes. You're right.
you
You're
can't
right.
have two truths.
Look at you getting all deep, boo boo.
Shoot.
My deep boo boo. Okay.
You know why? It's because my birthday's coming up and getting a little bit smarter.
Oh yeah, you get wiser
The way-
every year.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, man. That's right. We got to celebrate. We got New Year's coming up, so everyone that's listening, happy New Year's to you guys.
Yeah, be safe out there.
Be safe. We love you
Don't
guys.
let this man catch you.
Yeah, don't drink
doing
and
something
drive.
Stupid, so
I'm gonna take your ass to jail.
real. So yeah, man. But yeah, enjoy it.
We'll come back. We got another episode coming up next week for you guys. Stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Go to our YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Hello, goodbye. With the semicolon.
We're considering doing some social media stuff. I think it'd be good to get some stuff out there.
The access.
Yeah,
People need to hear our voices, bro. We got a lot of great things to say.
And I love, and
Because
like
we're
I've said
great, man.
before, plenty of times, man. I love people, love talking, hanging out, all that kind of stuff. So
I love you.
yeah, love you too, man. Goodbye.
Goodbye, boo boo.